I'll figure that out. I was trying to figure out how Swan died. Anyway, let's start a new game. No, not load. New game. Let's go. There aren't any remastered graphics for the cutscenes, by the way. There sort of are, but if you press the remaster button, it puts like this filter over the top of it. I say filter. Basically, just ups the resolution. That's pretty much all that does. The graphics don't change. So take from that what you will. It's an odd one, right? Because the existence of this game, of the remaster of this game, means that a lot of people can just start it up and go.
It's hard to say exactly, but you seem to be doing fine.
Well, great.
So there's no need to learn how to mod the PC version of the game to modernize it, if you even wanted to, because I'm a believer that's maintaining the original the original experience is core to the game itself, because we'll talk about it when we get to it a bit more properly, but there are just certain games out there that were like designed with the technology of that time in mind, and updating it. Sure, you can update it, make it more comfortable for yourself if you want to do that. You can mod it if you would like. That's all down to you. But in the long run, I often find that over tampering with older titles has the potential to mess with the desired experience of it. For example, Skyrim. Skyrim's a big one for this. A lot of people say that Skyrim is one of those titles where you can have a far better experience with it if you mod it, which to me says more about the community of that game and less about the title itself, if that makes sense. Because if I were to do like a review of Skyrim, for example, and had it like heavily modded, I'm not reviewing Skyrim anymore. I'm reviewing someone's mod of Skyrim, if that makes sense. And if I told you that I was I was talking about the base game and nothing else, I would just be lying to you. So I'm quite happy with this remaster, just for the fact that it keeps things as fundamental as possible. It's the original game, widescreen, with an optional updated graphical filter should you need it, and controls that fit a modern controller. That being said, you can still switch back to the classic control scheme should you wish for the original experience. The original game in its entirety is intact here. That's the important thing. I have issues with everything around that, it's lucky that we're quite lucky that the remaster of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, they're all quite fairly priced. They're quite cheap for what they're offering, and they still offer those base experiences, which is the important thing. So really, the additions on top don't need to do that much if you don't own these games and you want them ready to go on whatever current modern gen system you have. That being said, as it is at the moment, I own these games, so playing the remastered version, if I'm playing the remastered version, if I'm playing any version of Tomb Raider at all prior to this, I would have played the original Tomb Raider as it was intended, either on PS1 or on PC. In terms of modifications to make myself comfortable with the game, if I wanted to update things, I could absolutely do that. There's a widescreen mod that's very easily accessible to get for the original title, and it means saving a bit of money if you want if you want to play 1 through 6 that way. The issues start to become apparent if you own this game on PC and you already own the classic games, because yes, modern control scheme, good, original game, as intended, awesome stuff, cool. What's on top of that? What are you getting? What else are you getting? Well, the modernized control scheme in and of itself does a lot of heavy lifting, but there's it hasn't been entirely optimized, if that makes sense. Once again, the side jump, which is quite an important thing for later on, is neglected here. Something else as well with the modernized controls, as you might have guessed already, from the little routine we did in Lara's house and how this all works, because we're not using tank controls at the moment. Combat's kind of scuffed, quite terribly, unfortunately. So I'll showcase how combat works momentarily, because we're gonna get bombarded in a little bit, which is just going to be good fun for the whole family. Oh right, yeah, we can go through on this side, so this is still fine. This is what I mean about not getting all the secrets, because it'll be a bit of a nightmare with the current control scheme. So hold down triangle and pick up our first health kit. Isn't that fun? That's our first secret. Huzzah! It's a shame that the modern controls aren't like as good as they could be, because there's a lot here that's like, you know, holding down L2 to aim locks on, and then you tap R2 to fire. It feels just a bit more comfortable when using an analog stick doing that. The issue occurs when you are having to. So from this side, the issue occurs when you're having to dodge. Which that's how combat lives and dies in this game. Some people might not know what I'm referring to, but if you turn on tank controls, Lara, hang on, I'll try and switch over to show you. Might be a bit better to head down first, but figure it out momentarily. Here we go. So we've got tank controls enabled now. And with the analog stick, it's a bit weird, but with the D-pad, you get the feel of it quite easily. Now, instantly, there's going to be quite a few people that are going to be playing this game like this, and then they will switch back to the modernized controls because they think, wow, this is dated. No, this is how the game was designed. The entire game was designed around this. The ability to do this. The ability to do... Hang on. The ability to do... I got this... Was it that one? Yeah, the ability to do that. And you might be wondering why. Well, that's because if you pull out your guns, they auto-lock. Which means that you can focus entirely on doing that, and that, and that, and that. Things that you cannot do if you switch this back to the modern control scheme. You might be wondering why that's a big deal. You know, okay, so you can't do a few hops here and there, right? You can't whip out your guns and you can't just go meh, 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 meh. True. So what's the issue then, right? What is the issue? The issue is that you're less mobile. Actually, you can do sort of a side jump here, but it's really finicky. Maybe they've modded that in, you know? I remember quite a few complaints talking about side jump. I'm happy to be wrong. I'm hopefully wrong. I did a playthrough of this just like a week or so ago. And I couldn't do this. Has this been modded in? Not modded in, sorry. Has this been patched in, rather? I'll take it. Because there was like this really scuffed way of doing it initially, where you had to like use luck, aim, and then hold down jump, and then when you're coming out of it, doing that. Yeah. Okay, so they've put it in. Cool. I am pretty gosh darn sure that that was not originally there. I'm happy to be wrong about that. That's something. Yeah. Good. Okay. Cool. I don't believe that was there initially. That's the only thing. Because if you look it up online, for like the modern controls of this game, there are quite a few people that complain about the difficulties of trying to do like a side jump, because there are two parts of this game, one for a secret and one is required. There are two parts of this game that you need that for, so that's cool. If that's the case, I wouldn't really have too much of an issue with saying that the modern controls might be the way to go. It's not the way the game was, like, it's not what the game was designed for, but I'll take it. Right. Yeah, it's a bit weird that you can't pivot though. Are we gonna get doggies? Shoot the doggies. Right. Okay. Well, now that that's all done and dusted, did we kill it? Nope. Now that that's all done and dusted, we can speed through this. There isn't a secret around here, is there? I don't think there is anyway. I know there is in the next section because it feeds back into here. There's a big old bear. Where's the bear? The bear's down here. There he is. Okay, you're gonna come back? I should also mention that enemy AI is a little bit wackadoo as well. He's coming back. He's not. Okay. Well. That should do. Cool. And drop. If we hop over here, we can pick this up. And standing on that opens this. I don't know if that counts as... I don't know if that actually counts as a secret. It just become a little bit jarring later on in the game because you'll get obvious pickups that you can see that will be a little bit more difficult to reach than others. But it's not entirely apparent whether or not they're meant to be seen as secrets or whether or not they are just difficult pickups. I think... I was under the impression that one of these was also a sneaky little... Maybe it's in the next section up ahead. That's fine. Because we've got some stuff on this side and some stuff on the other side. Cool. That's really good, actually. Yeah, by all means look it up. Because I remember suffering for the lack of that side jump. Just combat-wise, pretty much. Because if you're going through combat in this game on the original version of it at least. You're going to be doing lots of jumps here and there because that's the point. You're meant to be avoiding enemies or doing jumps and flips to get out of their way. And go poo 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 poo. That's this one up here, isn't it? Okay, I knew it was one of these. Woo! Whoa. I'll still stand by that. The fact that combat is hasn't entirely been thought through with the new control scheme in mind. Oh, there is something there. Cool. Especially in late sections. Right now in the early game, we just have to put up with wolves for the most part. And even then, when we get out of the way of all the wolves later on, and we are up against something like the raptors, for instance, and then like the baboons. They pretty much beeline. I feel this is the end of the level, isn't it? No. No, it is not. Caves goes on for a bit longer than I remember it being. Cool. Yeah, that's pretty much the most reliable thing you can do in combat with the modern controls is jumping backwards. But now that this is here, that might be a bit better. The only issue is that I haven't really explained this well. With the modern control schemes, if you're going to do anything like that, you have to come to a complete halt, jump, and instead of doing what it said in the tutorial, oh, that's a weird thing that we just saw there as well. I'll explain that in a moment. Instead of doing the weird thing that you do in the tutorial, where it tells you to jump and then immediately press something, you're pretty much doing it at the same time with the modern controls. Yeah, so if we jump forward, let me just show that again. And it doesn't entirely work. You can step backwards under the weirdest circumstances in this game. It would be nice if there was just a dedicated mode for that in the remastered version. There is not. It is fine. I think I've missed a secret. That's okay. We'll get this done. We'll run through the next few levels fairly quickly, so it'll all be fine. The way that levels are set up in this game is that you'll have 3 or 4 that'll be dedicated to like an arc, if you will. So this little arc of levels here all takes place in Peru. The next one takes place in ancient Greece. Well, not in ancient Greece, but it's in Greece. We're walking around ancient Greece anyway, the ruins of Greece, and then the one after that is Atlantis. Whee! I've definitely missed a secret. Oh no, I got all of them. Okay, that was me being paranoid. I don't care about time. We're good. I tend to miss one of the secrets on this one. Just because it's a little bit complicated to remember where everything is. Oh, that little thing there, where she'll hold one gun when an enemy is like far enough to one side or the other, you'll be seeing that a lot. Predominantly just because our best bet to avoid damage in this game is to strafe like that. But yeah, once again, for the time being though, it doesn't matter too much. As pistols get the job done just fine. We're just gonna run around the edge and just clear out the area. There's a sneaky bear that only spawns in one area. That we'll have to deal with in a bit. We should be fine. Are you not going to lock on? There we go. So yeah, like this pickup here, that just classes as a pickup. That's not secret, even though it was hidden. It's not a big deal. Once again, as long as you're aiming for like some of the secrets you can find in this game, like not all of them, but some of them, maybe just the ones that you naturally come across, you will be just fine. Because your pistols will carry you a good push of the way in this game. It's really only when you reach the latter half of Greece, or rather when you enter Atlantis, when you'll start using Magnum ammo. When you start using Magnum ammo, at that point you will have loads. So it's not even a worry. Cool. Okay, we're all set. Let's get going. Let's do the bear thing. So quickly go in here and then jump up before it can get us. There it is. And yeah. It's unfortunate, but this is the standard at this point. In terms of like larger enemies, later on it will happen again. You might be thinking, okay, well, just get down there and deal with it. You've got health kits galore, and you'd be right for the most part. That is definitely a tactic. Big ol' bear here doesn't do too much to save its own life. The issue is later on when you encounter things like the more deadly mummies and stuff like that. If you've got a ledge high up, and you've got like, I don't know, when you want to save ammunition, it becomes a bit of an issue, because then you're just sitting down shooting for a while. Right, let's actually try that properly, because am I doing it wrong? Is it holding down walk? Maybe holding down walk's the issue. Yeah, there we go. Cool. Okie dokie. We go up here. There we go. That's weird. Oh, no, 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 come on. Go. So that's opened a little hatch for later on, and this one has opened the hatch for this. Huzzah! So if I do that now, nope. Okay, so you have to be either walking or at standstill to do the swan dive. Oh, I call it a dolphin dive. Technically, he is. Okay, and we sneak up here. It's a snack. A little snack. Run away. Yay. Is there not meant to be... No, there isn't something there. Okay, cool. Fine. We might get all the secrets in this one then. That'd be cool if we do. I'm not confident about later on. I vaguely remember where most of the secrets are in this game, but only get me so far. That's Magnum ammo, isn't it? Not Uzi ammo. Let's just make sure of that. It is. Cool, cool. Whee! You can get some achievements for using certain weapons and certain bosses in this game at certain points. But once again, I'm not going to bother too much with that. I mean, I might do. I remember the two in particular. One of them is their penultimate boss. Well, one of them is a guy that we saw get hounded by in the next set of levels. If you take him out with Magnum ammo, you get an achievement for that. Another one is and it's a shotgun user in Atlantis. Then there's the penultimate boss, and then there's Natler at the end. I don't know why. The achievements are locked the way they are. Natler's the only one that sort of makes sense. The idea is that the types of like the Magnum that you have is like a Natler branded Magnum. So it's trying to say like, oh, you're giving her a taste of her own medicine. But even having the knowledge that it is like a Natler branded Magnum is I don't know. Maybe it says it on the gun. Maybe I've just never seen that before, but I feel like it would be a bit more obvious. Once again, could be wrong. Go. Woo! And there should be a little tiny door hiding around here somewhere. There it is. I am wrong. Where are you? Oh, it's over there. Okay, I got you. Whee! Oh! I am blind. There we go. There's not much. I talked about like the bulk of the gameplay in the early sections at this point. There's not much else to talk about as of right now. Give me you. There we go. I'm going back. Like, if we're referring to things like puzzles in this game, that's surprisingly, this is quite an action-oriented title. It's really by the time we get to ancient Greece, when the puzzles start to occur. Because up until that point, it's a lot of platforming and a lot of shooting, which isn't bad. I do have a tendency just to like divorce the start of this game from the end of the game, though. Like tonally, they are two different beasts. Which, you know, you might think, oh, okay, that means that there is a decent tonal sort of ramp with this title, right? You know, like as you're playing it, by the time you get to the end of it, it might feel like, ah, yes, this game has it's all come full circle or something like that, or it was all building to this. I wouldn't entirely say that. I, it's an odd little thing because sorry, I missed one out. So it's what do we call it? It's Peru, then it's ancient Greece, then it's Egypt, and then it's Atlantis. There we go. Right, this is gonna be a bit awkward. Yep, that's fine. That's fine. That's gonna happen. We have other areas to jump onto. It's all good. These little jumps here are quite annoying because it's not as simple as just holding down R2 and then it happens automatically. You have to walk up to like an estimated spot. Okay. That happened. I'll try to explain what I was doing there. When you jump up in the air like that, if you hold down forward towards the peak of a jump, you can sort of nudge her forwards. If you... it's quite incremental. If you hold down forward immediately after the jump, or as she's jumping, she will start to like do a little dive forwards. Yeah, there we go. Just testing it out as well. If you hold down jump with some of the small jumps, she'll just automatically grab the ledge. Doesn't work when she's sleeping though, which is a little weird, but that's fine. Not that it's a requirement that she grabs ledges automatically. It's fine having a dedicate button for that. It makes it more deliberate. Let's be very careful about this. Yay! Anyway, what was I saying? I think I was just talking about the... Go! Go! And go. I think I was talking about the puzzles throughout the game, wasn't I? We're going through here. There's a big old bear up there. We do not want to deal with the bear mono. But, we can do what we're going to be doing a lot of anyway, which is pulling out our guns, walking to an edge, and waiting for the bear to appear so we can shoot it very slowly. There he is. They somewhat lock onto your position. It's not always, like, the pathing isn't always accurate, though. Like, I don't know what he's doing or where he's going. You just sort of feel like that he's given up, and he's just like, ugh. Fine. Right, that should open the way forwards. Funnily enough, I'll showcase it, there's no reason not to, but, woo! If we go up here, and if I show you what's up there, what that lever does, it might be the most pointless lever in the game. There is a good chance, unless the idea is to run back to look for secrets you might have missed, which, you know, you're allowed to do if you want to. Or magnum ammo. But all this lever does is it stops the traps that we ran through before. I suppose, you know, if you had the knowledge to look at your compass. Oh, we've got everything in this level. This is the tough one to get all the stuff in because it's a little it's one of the better hidden sets of secrets. The next one it makes it a little bit more obvious just because of the environment that we end up in. Oh, I am a dum-dum. Cool, we do that. I thought that's a weird-looking hallway. There we go. But yeah, I was talking about puzzles. This is closer to what you can expect going forwards. Speaking of going forwards, we're going to start by not doing that. And instead, we're going to drop down here and shoot some doggos. So, there's a little something over there, there is not. So, this level will have us finding some cogs, and the idea is that we get the cogs in order to raise a section where there is water that needs to be drained elsewhere. The cogs themselves are hidden throughout this level. I say hidden throughout this level, what I actually mean is that they are hidden in a very specific part of this level. Was there not more doggos? Is that it? Okay, so we have two routes forward. One's up there, which leads us to the way that we need to go, and the other one is down here with a bunch of doggos. I am going to commit my first save to we'll save it with that. That's fine. Here we go, because I seem to remember there being quite a few. I could just jump up there, but their AI is quite enthusiastic, as you can see. There we go. Going forward, you're going to see me save quite a bit. My last playthrough, which was a playthrough where I was completely uncertain about most things that I was doing. Sorry, I just need to up the brightness there. Is this really a nothing area? I mean, okay, fine. I guess it's meant to be a bit of a trap. But yeah, the last time I played through this game, I think I got close to 200 saves in one playthrough. A lot of that's just because of the death traps that occur towards the end of the game. This is very of that era, in the sense that it expects you to make a lot of saves. Right, are we all ready to see the raptors? This is the thing from the trailers, guys. From the big old trailers for Legacy of Atlantis, which you just casually shoots the raptors. Interesting skybox. Very creepy. This is probably a really good example to show what the remastered graphics do from time to time. It is apparent going forwards with Anniversary and Legacy of Atlantis that this is like more in line with what they were trying to go for with the PS1 graphics. Obviously, they can't do a skybox because this is a big old open area. But when I was younger, I always just assumed that this was like a cave. Like a really fucked up cave. Alas, it is not. All that being said, we're going to be very careful as we walk around here because we're going to encounter our first boss. Is this literally just a ledge? It is. Cool. I'm glad that exists. For personal ledge reasons. We should be coming around the corner any second now. unfortunately for us, he can't fit in here. Because he's too big. That's his health bar. And as you can imagine, never mind, don't imagine. Laura is being weird. This is fine. Yeah. I think the idea is that you're meant to traverse the arena while shooting him. He's not very intelligent. I don't know if you can tell. Anyway, that was the first boss done. I see a lot of guides online recommend that you hide in this little cubby hole or go to one of the ledges, but honestly, his AI is no different to like most AI in this game, which just means that you can just walk in circles and he'll get very confused very fast. Big bunny. Yeah. I'd like to say that the bosses improve. They don't. It's a bit weird to say that the bosses in this game are like just awkward little fellas. Just awkward little fellas. Because you would think with the combat in this game and how the tank controls worked and what they encourage you to do initially, like on the PS1, the PC version of this game, the original version of the game, you would think that the emphasis would be more on like dodging like tail sweeps with that boss or something like that, you know, really putting an emphasis on the acrobatic side to Lara, but I'm just assuming that they could only do so much with the memory space they had. It's a shock and awe thing. Like, as I'm not gonna say like as an experience necessarily, because that's all subjectivisms, but I'd like to think that most people playing this game who are unaware of Big Dinosaur will be quite surprised by its appearance. I'd like to bet that most people, even after playing this game, coming back to this section in particular, would be quite baffled. Because it's quite unfair to say that the dinosaurs are fairly explained in any way, shape, or form. That leads over to the bridge, doesn't it? We can't. I'm not really. Oh no, it doesn't. Does it? It does, doesn't it? Am I being dumb? Okay, we'll deal with that in a bit. I don't want to deal with that just yet. I need to replay Anniversary. I might do it after this, just to see how it lines up. But the understanding that we get of the narrative as a whole is that Natla is doing some ungodly things behind the scenes, and from the information that you get later on, you can semi-explain that the dinosaurs might have been her doing. I don't know. Like, it's a weird one because Natla as a character at all within this game, what she's capable of doing and how she does it are two very unexplained things. It's fascinating in general because the 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 Survivor trilogy, what that sets up for what Tomb Raider is going forwards. Um, the Survivor trilogy is a weird little gremlin in the grand scheme of things. Because you go through those games and then you think back to like, oh, okay, so this is all meant to lead into this. I don't know if it does that. Which is just funny because, according to Crystal Dynamics, they think that those titles flow seamlessly into this because the next game that they are releasing as a follow-up to Shadow of the Tomb Raider, the end of the Survivor trilogy, is a remake of Tomb Raider 1. And for those who have seen the trailer for Tomb Raider 1, for Legacy of Atlantis rather, you'll know something quite drastic from the get-go, and that's the fact that they've had to redesign Lara Croft and change her personality. I don't know to what extent or how deep this goes, but it's very amusing to me because it's like that's not how you do a seamless transition. You don't get a pre-existing character, do your own little story with said character, and then after doing that, just decide on a whim. Well, we're gonna remake Tomb Raider 1 now, and when we remake Tomb Raider 1, we're going to make a character more in line with the Legend trilogy, which is more in line with the original um, Tomb Raider series anyway. But you can't just be like, it's like a fake passport, if that makes sense. Like you show that to someone, um, like the person who's holding the fake passport has like longer hair, maybe a beard that isn't on there or something like that. There's something really drastically different. It's sort of how it's sort of how that feels, you know. It's a bit of a jump. Speaking of jumps, let's try. Oh yeah, let's try. Like me when I get all the questions wrong on a test, I just scream at the top of my lungs. No, I'm right though. We're meant to get 4 cogs. Am I going insane? Potentially. This is still a nothing area, isn't it? Yeah, because this is where we just got the other one. This will happen from time to time. I will lose my bearing, and you will have to put up with that, and follow me, as we travel through hell together. I'm pretty sure that there are 4 cogs. Ah, here we go. This will be why. I'm doing this from memory, could you tell? Oh, that's a secret. That's not a cog. Is it 4 cogs? Could be. I was pretty sure it was. Am I... Am I going insane? Okay, so there are just 3 cogs. I'm not going insane. That's fine. Why did I think there were 4? 2 out of 5 secrets found. Oh boy. We ain't finding those other 3 secrets, I can tell you that now. I can't remember where they were. We're getting into, like, sneaky jump territory where, with a lot of the hidden secrets. Like, you start looking at ledges like this, and you start to think, that looks like that's like that for a reason. And you know what? It's not. Unless the reason was to screw with you, in which case they succeeded. Congratulations. Oh, it's just... Sorry, I wanted to pay homage to the little hole that we found at the start of this. I do have a feeling that my memory of the latter half of this game is going to be a lot more clearer than the start of this game, even though my brain is telling me the opposite. I feel like that I should be more knowledgeable with the start of this game than any other part of it. Just because when you play a game often, it's the start of the game is the thing that sticks into your head. But alas, does not seem to be the case. Go on then. Is there something that's meant to be here? Because this... Ah. Okay. Thanks. Video game. It's fine. We can, we can swiftly move on with our lives. There's nothing down there, is there? Because that opens up later on. Okay. To be honest, there might be a section... Like, I do know where there are a few pickups. But I use the word pickups and not, secrets. Like that, for example. I don't believe that's a secret, because I don't believe I can make that jump. It does look like there's something there, though, doesn't it? So, maybe? Maybe. Nope. Okay. No. No. Ah, fine. This is one of the first levels in the game that's technically a setup for a later level. You'll see bits and bobs here, which imply that there's more to be done, and we can't really do anything with that until the next level. So that's cool. Huzzah! Huzzah! Whee! Ooh, that was not very fun. There we go. Okay, and yep, nice to see you too. There we go. We're just gonna walk over here and do a bit of a grab. Okie dokie. We can still nab the stuff that we need if we walk around here and do the cogs, because all it does is drain the water. We just need to hop over to a bit. You'll see what I mean. Nothing that side, nothing that side. Ah, that seems like that would lead to a secret. Okay, cool. Right, let's put this in here. The remastered graphics are throwing me off ever so slightly. Because this I know. This, on the other hand, I do not know. I still don't think the remastered graphics are bad. Seeing things like this lever be a bit more prominent is always a good thing. Right, cool. We do that, and then we go. Whee! Can I go with that actually? Okay. So, how many secrets does that make? 3. And there's nothing else there, is there? No. Okie dokie. Can I... Nope. Okay. Cool. Fine. Be that way. Let's go. Shotgun. Very nice addition. We are rarely going to be using this thing. That's more of a but out of like principle rather than anything else. Simply put, it's really good against bosses and annoying enemies. And I would much rather use it against those than anything else. This is going to be so strange because if I decide after this to go forward and do like Tomb Raider 2 and so on, so this is this area, huzzah. Oh, this counts as a secret, does it? Okay, that means there's one more left. Will we find it? Probably not. But yeah, if I go forward and decide to do like Tomb Raider 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 after this, my memory's going to go blank real fast. I don't think I've ever replayed Tomb Raider 3 through 6 before. I've beaten them like once. That's sort of my thing. I've done that. But oh, I'm a big ol' idiot. I'm a big idiot. That's fine. Yeah, because the waterfall stopped, which means that... Oh no, it's fine. I was meant to go this way. I'm not an idiot. Huzzah! I'm an accidental genius. That's the term, right? But yeah, my memory of... my memory of Tomb Raider 2 mainly stems from Lara's house and how batshit the opening is, like gameplay-wise. My memory of Tomb Raider 3 is barely there. In my brain, which is it Tomb Raider Chronicles? Is that Tomb Raider 4? I think so. I remember that. I remember the opening to that at the very least. I know nothing about 5, and I remember all the obvious stuff about 6. So that's fun. I should probably do a little save at some point, because it has been a moment. And we are nearly done with Peru. I know, right? Exciting. We can't make that jump. That's fine. I reckon that our longest stint's probably gonna be in Greece. I ruined that. Yeah, I reckon our longest stint's probably gonna be in probably going to be in Greece, just because, I'm pretty sure Greece is the one with like the most. I'm really screwing that jump up. Why is that happening? That's a jump I can make. I'm sure it is anyway. It's not, actually. I think this is an example of do not push the lever until you are ready. Am I right? No, I am very wrong. That is a jump I meant to make. Cool. But yeah, I remember quite a bit about the puzzles in Greece. I also remember that they are quite long. Like, regardless of what you know about them, if you know all the solutions before you get into it, it has a tendency to drag. There we go. That felt dodgy as fuck, but we did it, and that's what matters. Um, it's that next, isn't it? Because Okay, fine. Yep, okay. I should have trusted my instinct. That's fine. That's fine. Okay, Ooh. Oh, God. I don't remember this feeling as dodgy as it did. That's okay. The game has decided to play a little funny game with me. You're right there, Lara. How's it going? No! That's fine. That's something we can recover from. Is it? It is. We're good. I can squeeze that jump out. There are just jumps later on in the game that just expect you to do shit like this. Which is fine, because by that point you have played, like... Nope, that's an... Oh. Oh, and I was gonna say I needed to save. Where are we? Okay, that's... Okay, that's reasonable, that's fine. Oh. I thought so much about saving the game that I forgot whether or not I did save the game. Turns out I did. Oh, it doesn't feel right, does it? It is. It absolutely is. But it doesn't feel right. It feels like there should be another lever here. And there definitely isn't. It's a matter of lining up, running back, and then... You ever reach a point in a game that you've previously played where you're like, I've done that a bunch of times before, this is going to be fine, there's going to be no issues here. And then you return to it, like, for the first time in a while, and for some reason, the jump that you never fail, or never considered to be a problem, is all of a sudden quite a big problem. That's what I'm contending with right now. I feel like there's gotta be There's not another lever. And all that lever does is push the other block back. Right? Or am I being a dumb? I'm being a dumb. I'm being a dumb. I'm being the big. No, I'm not. No, we. What am I doing? I've already seen this happen. Ah, right. Because if we move this up, that's not the thing that moves. Yeah, that goes back. Yeah, it's the other side. Okay. I mean, for the teehees and ha-has, I could see if I could make the jump. Oh, fuck. Okay. I mean that's just gonna fuck things up in the future. Let's not do that. I can't I can't jump up on that, can I? No. Okay. Yeah, the jump, like the arc to Lara's jump, the momentum of it is definitely something to get used to. I'm jumping way too early. That's that's exactly what's happening here. But every time we've made one of those jumps within this area, Lara has magically snapped up into position. Oh my god, really? Maybe I should show you how much like the momentum continues when I'm walking. It's not a lot. It's completely manageable, but it's Ugh, did not mean to do that. Right, so I'll just say when I let go of the analog stick. Okay, I've let go. Yeah, it's about half a second afterwards. Yeah. She takes like another like step and then stumbles. Why am I struggling so much with this? Because I'm an idiot. That's why. Okay. Oh god. Yeah, do this one and then my brain was like, ah, that's probably going to be a secret for later on. No, of course it's the way. Can we just pretend none of that ever happened? I feel really dumb. And then this takes us around, and then it's gonna take us to another lever that moves another thing, and then we can do. Did you just? Did you just do a little move? Did I tell you to do that? I don't think I told you to do that. Oh, was that? Okay, is this one for a secret? Because I don't think I've ever focused on getting the secrets in this area. I think that's what this is for. It's not. God. Yeah, so my memory of the latter half of this game is going to be significantly better. Cool. Now we know. Oh, is it just meant to nerf that entire section? And then I hop down here? Oh, because this section's opened up. God damn. I'll say this, like, the lapse in my memory for the solution to sections like this, it goes to show that the game is, like, it's pretty gosh darn good, you know? We're dealing with a game that, You don't get puzzles like this anymore. Not like this in particular. I mean, I actually don't think a game would dare do anything like this, because someone would look at that and go like, oh, that's way too simple, and then they'd be like, yeah, but it's I don't think it is too simple. Me spamming jump there. Yeah, I don't think it is too simple. I think there is like there's a logical progression through that. We should be fair. Yep. Yeah, and we're gonna save up real quick. Yeah, there's a logical progression to that section, and I think that alone is like that that lets it be worthy of being here. We're gonna get little raptor boys. There's one around here, isn't there? No? Okay. I know what you are. This is a useless lever. Go, 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 go. Bang, 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 bang. Cool. Was that fun for you guys? Because that was fun for me. Yeah. Come on. Push the block. Yeah, this is definitely a scenario of like, you can picture in your head how a lot of these levels where after you've been through them once, it turns into like a speedrunning frenzy, almost. Because I remember doing that with the PS1 version of this game. You get to the end of a level and then your brain's just like, I gotta do that again. It recorded my time. I gotta run through that again, and then you just keep doing it again, 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 again. I think it helps that the game lends itself to this way, being sort of like with its puzzles. It's the format of each most puzzles in this game. We'll say most puzzles is linear. Up until the back end of Greece, which that's when we get a little bit kooky. Start dealing with like letters on a wall, or symbols on a wall, and you're having to ascertain which ones mean up and which ones mean down. But you're juggling like 7 different rooms at once. That could be an over exaggeration, actually, but you get what I mean. You're dealing with a lot in one go, is what I'm trying to say. Now we go forwards. Eh, eh. I know that there is a thing behind one of these statues. I cannot be asked. As I said, we're not going after all of the secrets. Thanks, game, but I'm going to shoot the funny boy. Yeah, I don't get that. I think it's meant to be a spy. These are mummies, by the way. These are what the mummies look like in the game. We'll be seeing these later on. That one's just alive. I don't know why. This, I think we're meant to take away that, like, this is some spooky-tisms for later on. There is, like, a thing that we see in a flashback at one point in the game that's like, ah, that looks vaguely like that, but I don't know. You gonna get it? Pick it up? Time to do a run. Oh my goodness. Run away. Ah. Oh god, but there's a boulder in the way. Oh. A boss bar? What could that mean? It means the little boss, silly. Can you not do that? And... bang, bang, bang.
Well, you have my total attention now. I'm not quite sure if I've got yours, though. Hello?
I'll heel and hide you to a barn door yet.
Of course.
You and that driveling piece of the ski-on. You want to keep it so bad, I'll harness it right up your...
Wait. We're talking about the artifact here?
Damn straight we are, right up.
Hold on. I'm sorry. This piece, you say. Where's the rest?
Miss Natla put Pierre Dupont on that
It's so
trail.
weird.
And where is that?
Because obviously this is the model that we associate with Lara Croft today. This is like the definitive Lara Croft model, if you will. I know that people think a lot about the PS1 model, but when I think of Lara Croft and when I talk to a lot of people about Tomb Raider, it's this iteration that comes to mind more so. We didn't find any of the secrets. Oh no. But yeah, it's this iteration that comes to mind more so, which is like, yeah. But the model for everyone else in this game in like the remaster form, it does not. The voice does not fit, you know.
Relocated now to St. Francis's Folly, new temptations torment me. Rumour amongst
My fellow brothers is that entombed beneath our monastery is the body of Tehukan, one of the three legendary rulers of the lost continent Atlantis, and that with him lies his piece of the Atlantean Skion, a pendant divided and shared between the three rulers, which curbs tremendous powers. Powers beyond the Creator himself. My toes sweat at such possibilities, lying so close to my mortal self. Each night, I beat myself rid of these fantasies, but it is indeed a test.
Pierre, you litterbug.
My goodness.